It's national meets regional. Welcome to Sidewalks Entertainment, the long-running celebrity, music, and art series. Join us now for an exciting new path to celebrity interviews, music, rising talents, much, much more.
The award-winning Hulu series, The Handmaid's Tale, I'd like to welcome Christopher Meloni. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, I think the very first time that I've seen some of your work was in Runaway Bride. You played the outdoorsy, sportsy fiance of Julia Roberts' character. Now, Runaway Bride was one of many of the first films that you starred in alongside some really big names like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Junior, 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp. Now, what's incredible is that before you went into acting, you were a bouncer, a bartender, a personal trainer, and you also worked in construction. Now, what inspired you to go into acting, and what led to your very first professional acting gig?
What got me into it was a serendipitous call, a fortunate call that I just sent out to a friend of mine from high school, and I asked him, because I was tired of the construction sites personally. I didn't see a future in it for me. So I said, "What are you doing with your life?" And he said, "I'm going up to New York to study acting." And I went, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that too. So that's what I did. And what led to my first gig? Well, I was doing a lot of commercials. I got into commercial work, in New York City, and then I just auditioned for a sitcom called The Finelli Boys that lasted one season. And that was kind of the start of things.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you did, because since then you've been in award-winning projects, including the HBO series Oz and Law & Order Special Victims Unit, also known as SVU. Now, I'm not going to ask you if you'll be returning to SVU, but how does it feel to continue to get so much love and support from fans of your SVU character after all these years?
Well, I think it shows, number one, how good the show was and is. What a great job they all did and are continuing to do. I think Mariska kind of hit it on the head when she said that we're kind of these archetypes for people to connect to. Like, I'm the father who's going to, beat you up if you do my children wrong, and she was like the mama who will give you the nurturing. And, I thought, oh, yeah, it's kind of how it resonates in a larger way.
And now to add to your long list of award-winning projects, you're now part of the hit series, The Handmaid's Tale. Your character is Commander Winslow, and your wife is played by none other than Elizabeth Reeser. Now, from learning about the part to auditioning and taking the role, what was the process, or what led to your being casted as Commander Winslow?
They asked me, and I said yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty simple process and a pretty simple response. I'm a big fan of the show, and I like how they shoot it, and I love the story that they're telling. So yeah, I was very pleased and honored to be part of it.
Now, what would you say your character's strengths and weaknesses are in the show?
Well, I'll say this. He is a man with large appetites.
Oh my gosh.
So that is, you can see that as good and bad depending on how well you rein them in or what your idea of acceptable appetites are.
Well, when you say something like that, when it comes to The Handmaid's Tale, I mean, my imagination is just running.
Oh, good. Well, then maybe it was a good answer.
Now, you did say that you're a big fan of the show. Did you watch The Handmaid's Tale prior to getting the part?
I did. I was drawn to the source material. I'd seen the film that they did 20 years ago. So I was kind of familiar with what the story was. I just wanted to see what they were going to do, how they were going to stretch it out into a series. And, the visuals are, very cinematic, and the writing is fantastic, and the acting is great. So, yeah, it's a nice show.
Now, how do you feel about the direction the storyline has been taking?
The storyline, what it's taking, I felt was logical. I felt they needed to expand the universe of Gilead to introduce the audience into what exactly is the power structure, what are the larger ramifications with Canada, also continuing to make it personal with, the babies, June's babies involved. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty smart, and I'm glad they did because it incorporated my character.
Now, one last question before we run out of time. What has been your experience so far since joining the cast of The Handmaid's Tale?
Well, my experience has been just what happened on set, which was nothing but fantastic. I loved everybody. I loved all the producers, the writers. They were very collaborative. They're just doing great work, and I'm glad they invited me along for the ride.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to what comes next and to see more of your character. But unfortunately, we are out of time. But again, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thanks, Lori. The pleasure is mine.
That was Christopher Meloni for The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. Again, thank you so much, Chris. You take care.
Bye-bye. You as well.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.